week 6 of the spring split. So we're back at it, baby. Going into Rift Rivals and going into Worlds. That Worlds run, it seems like Invictus Gaming are putting some hours into them.
So welcome back, Duke, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Summoners Rift for our match of the week. Invictus Gaming, JDG, what was a 3-0 final. With IG walking over JDG, is now up to them to get redemption and get revenge.
Oh, are we going to body slam?
They're going in for an invade, Raz. But Light Binding's not going to connect, so JDG just drop a ward into the blue side and walk out.
Body slam is not even a bad level 1 to have if you're clearing your red buff.
Yep.
It's good. Good stun, negates damage if you're hitting it on the auto attack animation of the red buff. I'm a big fan of it. But yeah, I mean, one thing I want to make certain, just people know, there's only one team of the two that's circling this day on the calendar. You already talked about it. The fact that it was JDG that got clean swept in the finals in a very fast fashion. It wasn't G2 versus Origin fast, but it was pretty damn fast.
It was up there.
And so, while JDG are looking at this series with focused eyes, it's going to be pretty damn upsetting, in my opinion, to not see Zoom versus, Zoom versus TheShy matchup.
Yep.
Like, that one was a sick matchup that we wanted to be able to see, but being able to see Duke in his first time to split is crazy for me.
I mean, Duke's still a world champion twice over, so
yeah,
nothing to take away from him. Going for the Rise matchup with Comet into Zoom's top lane Renekton, which is lovely to see in all the same sense. Will quickly pass over the Yagao and Forge have both taken Klepto in the mid lane as well. Silas being the stranger of the two.
Yeah, it is. That one's the big one. You'd expect it to be Aftershock, but of course he's always expecting if he gets the E in, Abscond and Abduct, that he can get a few auto attacks through. I'm not a fan of it. I'm certainly not a fan of it. I think that, for Karma, the reason why she runs Klepto, we see it so frequently, it's easy to get. You have the range matchup. You can always keep the Silas at an arm's reach. You have the movement speed. You have the snare. So there's a lot there that Karma has in the matchup.
So at least in lane, going to be harder for Yagao here. You're looking down the bottom and seeing the point of view stream on JakeyLove.
Don't say that. We're in delayed.
Oh, don't look at that. Look at it, maybe game 2.
No.
Keeping me honest, Raz.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so bugger off from there. Stay here. JakeyLove picking up the Sivir this game with Cleanse as well, but I'm going to pause on that because attention over towards the top side invade here from Ning, who is level 3, the same as Flaws, but blue buff is taken by the Gragas.
All right. Good defensive play at the end of the day because you expect Kindred to be able to get that one up on you. I know we didn't get the chance to talk about it because,
oh my god. The Flash Spear into the Plasma into first blood for JDG. Commitment there while JakeyLove tries to get the return, but second skin's going to proc. Almost get JakeyLove in the process. The bottom lane had shove, but now it has power.
JakeyLove cannot stay under this tower when the wave comes through. This is tough.
We're going to see more blood Raz Flawless towards the mid lane. Opts not to go in.
Yeah, Ning's going to chase Flawless off on this one. What a great combination and dive, honestly, from Lumao and Imp. They get a focus of, pressure. Oh, gets it.
And a mark.
Nice. But back to my quiz. Imp and Lumao, I mean, as a 2v2, have had some problems in the spring split. When they came back into the summer split, continued to have those issues. But just being able to see that is always great.
Yep.
I mean, under tower, just instant lethal too. They put in a lot of effort, so take a look at this one. Of course, Baolan was incredibly low. They waited till the shield to come down, get the fear. Even with the heal coming through, they knew that they had the kill follow-up. So
such good execution.
Yeah, great job from Imp and Lumao.
See a 1v1 in the top lane, though, while we're waiting. Duke taking a hefty trade. Zoom just trying to get more priority in this lane, already being shoved out to the tune of almost 20 CS.
That's one thing that a lot of people end up forgetting, which is Zoom's current strength. While he's behind in this lane matchup, that was just a great trade to come through. In the summer finals, it was literally Zoom and TheShy as the top 2 top laners in the league and perhaps in the world. Like, that's a great conversation to have where now there's real struggle for JDG, and a lot of that comes down to the fact that Flawless hasn't been able to support the top side as much as he did in the early spring split. And the reason for that is because there's so much problems on the bottom side of the map.
Yeah.
Lumao, Imp, Yagao have been up and down to say the least, and so Flawless now I think is easily can focus on the top side of the map, knowing that right now Imp and Lumao having great laning phase.
Yeah, that's why you can get excited that for JDG this is the perfect start to the series and the perfect start to a team that is going to have to perform at Rift Rivals. And while I was looking across there, someone like Lumao helping get that first blood. He's taken Airy in this lane, so it's not the Aftershock fiddle. Good to see that the bottom lane performing well.
And one thing I want to make a point of is we already talked about JDG kind of struggling in this split. Their last 2 series, they've been 4-0. Sure, the last one was against VG Gaming, but the one before that was against Suning. Suning, a team that right now is looking like our top 5 team right now in the split.
Yeah.
So JDG are certainly rising. They just need to be prepared for what is a tough task going into Rift Rivals against Griffin. And that's all I really care about, honestly. Like, honestly, there's nothing that the LMS VCS has to offer in the 2nd seed.
That's very fair. So performance here will kind of indicate where they're going to sit and how they're going to perform against a team like Griffin, as you mentioned.
Yeah, because like Mad right now is not like in fact, right now the 2 teams that
Mad
LMS
looks better than Flash Wolf.
Exactly, and both of them are still looking bad. So right now, LMS and VCS coming into it, really only looking towards dashing Buffaloes. But another nice mark being picked up by Ning.
Double mark, double scuttle picked up by the Kindred.
And he can lean towards Duke, who's already having a great lane. Oh, wow.
The Predators flash, double flash, the body bop as well. Execution clean this time from the top side.
That was such a small window. The Kindred was there. How do you expect that to work?
He just charged past her over the blast code, no worry.
Yeah, and remember, he procced Predator immediately, so he made it an in-and-out situation, you know? Got into that bush, zoomed straight towards the Rise. Of course, Zoom utilizing his flash to get him locked down, so they knew they had a small window. They took advantage of it.
Key kills on core members across JDG now. Already won to Imp before, but Zoom now picking up a kill in a lane that he's down by 20 CSs. Looking towards the bottom lane. This is going to evolve.
Oh my God, stop it.
JakeyLove's going to take one more as well. He walks up to the wave. Imp needs to turn around, but doesn't choose to do so. The ricocheting blade getting a better trade in the end. This bottom lane is just heating up.
They need to have consistent shove in the lane. I'm talking about Lumao and Imp. Because the point that you made earlier on, Airy on Fiddlesticks, remember what brought Fiddlesticks into the meta was Aftershock. What are we doing here?
This is a double control. Well, yeah, hit the dragon. That'll get him out.
Ocean Dragon is the most infuriating one.
Yeah.
Thankfully, he can Q away from it, but it just keeps you still. The
now,
slow is insufferable.
What were you talking about with Lil Man?
Oh, yeah. Just the Airy on Fiddlesticks. You don't see that from any champion, or at least from any Fiddlesticks.
Yes.
Because what brought Fiddlesticks into the meta was the Aftershock giving you that much outright armor and magic because it's just flat. So whenever you get your fear across, you can keep yourself happy during team fights, during the early laning phase. You don't have to be concerned too much. But Airy is such a gambit option. If they are behind, this Fiddlesticks is dying very quickly.
Yes.
But the poke that you were able to see so consistently in the lane is the reason why he got that Airy proc. So now it's going to be fun if they can keep pressuring Baolan and JakeyLove underneath the lane. You're just going to be getting the fear bouncing between 2 members. And it gives time for Imp to stack up his pass.
Yep. Baolan forced to use the shield, and part of the reason why we see this combo again from the bottom lane of JDG is because Imp and Lumao believe heavily that this is such a good combination.
Oh, here we go. He's on the left side of mid lane. They would never have seen this happen. They put vision on the bot side if the support's roaming up, but he took the long way around.
Yeah, look how well it's watered the bottom side as well.
He's going top lane!
He's such a roamer. Level 6, Lumao ready to call all over Ning.
Oh, they're waiting. They even brought in the Silas. This is a 4-man dive top.
But there's pings going down. Question mark there to Ning. Predator, flawless, got level 6 as well. Explosive cask available. They still don't know he's here. Yagao's coming up as well. Turns himself into a Karma onto Duke. In comes the Fiddlesticks, but it's a little bit early. Lamb's fight comes first, and Yagao almost dies. There's 4 members up here, and JDG can't get a kill.
What a great timing on Lamb's respite. Because the fear could come on towards Ning, and they can burst him before he even has the chance to make it known.
Very true.
Keeps his Lamb's respite out early, denies the roam on towards Lumao. And now guess who loses the most on that? It's Imp. He's been alone in the bot side for how long?
That's turret plating to JakeyLove too.
And he hasn't been able to farm that wave entirely. So sad face for Imp. That's the gambit you make if your support moves topside, and you didn't get a damn thing from it.
I will say pushing Duke and Ning out though. Zoom has been able to get his own bit of gold. Topside he's pushing back in. He's catching back up in CS. And Zoom has gotten 3 bits of turret plating from that.
That's true. That's a good point. We're at a stage right now where he was pretty far behind in terms of the CS, but he's really coming back now. And remember, a lot of the gold that Rise accumulates is not really actionable. He's a tier proc. right? It's a long time to be able to build that up, where Zoom, instant action off his, yeah, at least he's alive. But at least the gold that Zoom gets, instant action, BF sword, Spear of Sojin, a lot of the stuff that amounts to fights right now.
Really early one, it seems, as well. Forged towards the bottom side after Imp getting burned out, and that final spark almost killed him, with Ocean Dragon being taken by IG, with JDG hovering around here, but it's just going to be secured. IG with the first objective.
I've seen a Sylas actually steal a dragon off this. I think it was in competitive play too. It's the saddest thing seeing a Sylas steal dragon with an above-the-wall Q.
Yeah. Very true. Hang on, Dominus popped in, don't you? Okay. This is the Renekton at full strength with BF Sword. He's about to spin Raz. Get ready. Doesn't even need it. Juke gets solo killed by Zoom.
That's the snowball you want to see. Zoom coming in big for his team. Now you could just keep playing top. What can stop the Croc?
Turret is still there with plating to be taken too. So this wave, easy shove in. Ning cannot contest. Lamb's Respite not available, so even more so to head up to that top lane is Slaughter. He's still doing it. To move to that top lane now, Turret's going to come in, teleport there, and Zoom just backs away, now hitting level 10 on the Renekton, and this back could very well be that Spear of Shojin or close to.
Yeah, even just the Kindle Gem is good enough. So let's take a second look at this, that he used both Slice and Dice, but while he was stunned down, of course, gets in front of him. He wants to get every auto attack down to the point that you mentioned too. If that auto attack didn't kill him, he's in range of his Q. Renekton played that out perfectly.
To go back and pick up Mercury Treads as well. That's annoying for the Rise, who may very well have a CS lead, but now Ning in the top side makes this fun.
You know what? That makes Rise's Rune Prism very much close to live. It's just going to feel like a slow at that point.
Yeah.
But the point, yeah, we're not going to be able to get his Kindle Gem, which is going to suck not having that extra bit.
He doesn't have ult, but Flawless is nearby.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Here we go.
Ning waiting for the perfect time. Now, he's not going to pop out if Zoom's not up at the wave. He's playing this super safe, but is it safe enough?
Let's get him.
Finally into one, into two. Zoom is going to take that final shot, flashes away just to be safe, and he would have been dead.
Yeah, I think he canceled an auto on that one. I'm talking about Kindred. But that was still a really good play. I think you already mentioned Zoom was playing that one out pretty damn safely. And he did it for one cause. Flawless being able to pick up Rift Herald. I was wondering why he was pivoting up and down the river. Seemed like that was the case.
Yeah, he didn't care about the play. So it does pick up Rift Herald, and Ning does back off. So let's see what happens.
Get away from the wave!
Onto the bottom side, we get the fear again! That was easy.
You can't hold the wave when there's a Fiddlesticks on the enemy team. I didn't even think you'd get the kill.
I didn't even think the Lux would be dying. They had flash and heal available. Use a heal, but kill on the bottom side. JDG get the top side goal to themselves. This is a snowball effect.
This is, you know, pre-planned, set up the composition. You knew who you were playing up against. I told you. It was JDG that had circled this day on the calendar, not Invictus Gaming.
Yeah.
Invictus Gaming, the ones looking towards Rift Rivals, and, you know, pretty much quickly handed JDG the victory, or at least the loss, I mean, in the finals. And right now, JDG's been the only team really suffering throughout the entirety of this summer split.
We've been calling JDG our weakest team going to Rift Rivals as well.
And while that may be the case with the body of work that they've had in the summer split, their last two series is saying that they are on that rise. A lot of the coordination issues that we've been seeing from Flawless in his solo lanes have no longer been the case. So it's good stuff, but remember, you always have to have that caveat. Ricky's not playing, and TheShy's not playing. So right now, I wonder if Invictus Gaming, if they end up going into game 2, end up utilizing TheShy.
Yep.
Just because we're in that position right now where JDG have an empowered Zoom.
2-0, Spear of Shojin done. First item alongside the Rise. As you're pointing out before, it's going to be Archangels versus such a damaging item on Zoom, who now hit that level 11 and is solo lane in the top side still.
And he has such a long lane to deal with that Rift Herald taking down top lane turret, which means he has to hide his head until the wave crashes into the inner tower. Take a look at this. It's a lot of gold specifically going down on the Renekton. 400 gold. So, yeah.
Ning needs a perfect Lamb's Respite.
Oh, no.
Otherwise, Zoom 1v2s.
I think he just 1v2s no matter what.
On to
My
Ning
money's
first.
on Zoom.
Zoom Gonna get hit once, twice, then we finally get the proc. Zoom get half health, the flash on top, Realm Warp's there. He now turns, hits Dominus, wants to get Ning, pop that ulti out before he dies. Rise comes in, hits Ning, 1-2, and perfectly timed. Ning only just survives with the help of Duke.
But Ning played that out so well. So much free damage when he was kiting around the Renekton. Didn't even give him a chance. Renekton didn't have flash, so he couldn't turn it on the Kindred that easily.
Flaw's trying to make a responsible play in the bottom side. JakeyLove's already out though, and there's nothing the Fiddlestick with his ult now in hand can do.
A lot of pressure down here. I think that's just a free Ocean Dragon there for JDG.
Yep.
And much like the last series, JakeyLove and Battleland's getting punished.
Very true, Raz. Very true. They're 30 CS down. It's the Essence Reaver versus Manamune, Recurve Bow, and Pickaxe for him. And now an Ocean. While IG, they pick it where they can. It's a topside trade.
Only 3 ranged minions being left to them. At this stage, you're already mid lane, so they're playing to the next play. I like this.
Yep.
Already moving, getting the wave clear done, and now threatening the mid lane tower.
Super quick from IG. There's going to be a stolen final spark there from Yagao. Real one comes through from Battleland, which is unable to burst Flawless down, but wave secured, held mid lane turret there for JDG. Duke even steals a blue buff on the way out, so not bad.
This is going to be one of our most hectic games, because very rarely do you see a Kindred in professional play to begin with. But then when you see a Kindred and a Sylas, it gets to a point where you really don't have, like, communication is going to be key for these teams. And for us, we need to have the right eyesight to see which Kindred ultimate to use.
That's true. They haven't color-coded it yet, have they? They look the same.
They do look the same.
Okay. We'll find out shortly anyway, you're right.
At the end of the day, I mean, Kindred Ultimate's very easy to track because you can only really use it on top of the person that you're, top yourself and all that.
Yep.
So.
But Yagao does gap close and gets into the thick of it, so.
Yeah, so it's going to be easy to track within the team fight. It's one of those moments where, the early klepto that he ended up picking up for himself actually ended up paying off.
Yeah.
So wasn't threatened by any bit of damage. I think that's what he was kind of banking on, especially since it wasn't a Luden's Echo on Forge. He went straight towards the supportive items, which I like, by the way. You have 2 ways about going in. You get Luden's Echo into the supportive items, so you have at least some base AP to deal with. Or you're going straight into supportive items, so you get like the fast spike, already 17 minutes into the game, and you can already support your double AD carries. I saw a game, I think it was in the LPL, in which you saw Athene's into Luden's. And I was like, what's the point anymore? Just literally go into double support.
Pick a side. Yeah. Forge now going to show us the strength. I thought Ning was going to follow up with that, but Yagao just heavy in the side lane as he's got his own Luden's Echo heading towards the second item. And even in CS, so with the Kleptomancy in hand, fun rune for Yagao to pick up, who's now level 12, and is just moving towards the mid lane, up towards where Baron will be up in 1 minute 30, and that Infernal in 240 looks more likely.
Yeah, I think you're right. The Dragon's going to be a major point of focus for these teams. JDG, because they feel like they can pick up these team fights.
Oh, Ball's going to be caught out, though. Has to go golden, but get ready, because there's an orb underneath him. He flashes, he body slams. JakeyLove comes in with the Boomerang Blade, hits him on the way out. Lot committed here, but JDG still at a deficit. For Duke, walking forward is easy with On the Hunt, getting ready to be proctors. Imp now. Where is he? He's not even joining the fight. They just left it. IG picked the flight off, and that's Flawless going down, and Lumao running for his life.
Lumao's going to have a lot of distance to cover here because that's a fast composition running you down. Where are you going, sir?
Moby's Fiddlesticks, though. We're just watching the surprise party in action.
Why are you flashing?
He flashes because he can survive, Raz.
You're a Fiddlesticks. Why are you flashing?
Why are we watching this?
You need flash for your ultimate.
Drops the control ward. He's a good support. They slow him down. They need a light biting. They fear. Forge ultimate. Hell yeah, it's a party. Look at him.
At the end of the day, he bought his team time.
They got the mid lane turret. That's so worth.
No, it's not.
And bottom lane.
Okay,
that's so
worth. That's worth it. Yeah, you know what?
Actually,
I
they
like
don't get the bottom
lane. Okay,
lane.
that's a lot of damage. I can get behind that. Just because it was fun. But a Fiddlesticks with no flash, my goodness.
He got a lot done. He got a lot done.
He did.
But if IG get mid lane turret because there's no one there anymore, that would be pretty detrimental. That would be just a splashback here. As Luxalt avoided, JDG, they send their 80 carry, and Imp actually just ults in. Gets JakeyLove to half health.
Still end up losing the turret.
That's right.
So now if we take a retrospect, I like the gambit, but it didn't pay off.
It didn't pay off.
Didn't pay off.
You nowhere near your Kaiser if she could follow up and find something onto Forge, who was a constant chaser there. But Lumao going down, no flash. It's going to be a long time before that's up. Crowstorm has a bit of a cooldown on it as well. And we're looking at Baron now, where IG are starting to move towards those 2 items and start positioning around it. So
yeah, I'm not too concerned about the Crowstorm. The ultimate will come up by the time Dragon, the Infernal Dragon, is going to be a point of issue.
Sure.
It's just more so how are you going to set yourself up for these team fights? Because I talked about it. JDG, their whole focus is being able to take fights into Invictus Gaming. So the ultimate from Fiddlesticks, especially without Aftershock, is going to be important. You need to be able to get on top of them. It's going to be much harder now without that summoner. But I still think they have, you know, an incredibly fed Renekton. He's at a great place right now. We'll have to see what he ends up doing for himself.
Zoom's been a little bit quiet, though. Just been side laning this whole time. Still behind on CS, but heading towards that Black Cleaver where Duke has been hit that same side lane with his second item.
Well, yeah, Kindred shut him down. I think Kindred played a great role, as you can tell. Always in front of Zoom. At the top lane when he was shoving in, and now in your position. Here's Lumao.
Get in there! Means that Duke's just as much of a threat. Lumao comes in with the Crowstorm. Now gets low, goes golden, but without the Aftershock, there's no resistances. But with a stolen Kindred ult, as we now see it, it's a figure 8 as Ning gets knocked out. It bolts in. Zoom has to flash himself, and Lumao is still alive. A 5 versus 4, but now 3. Now 4 versus 3. Now 4 versus 2. Keep counting the numbers as Forge is burning down, ticking down. Imp also gets Duke, and a messy fight that comes out with JDG on 4.
Insane that Lumao comes out of that one alive. He started the play, got bursted down, waited for his stopwatch to come in, and it's that chaotic nature of the double ultimate from Kindred. The fact that now JDG can reposition in the fight and allow Zoom the opportunity to place down that damage. It's now going to allow them to get this Baron buff.
Guaranteed Baron, guaranteed goalie that's about to be 4,000 here in this first game. And over the wall for Zoom, into the Baron pit and into this awesome game 1 that JDG has started showing.
These are the kind of plays you live for. I want to look back at it. This is one of those moments where you don't like YouTube viewers because they've already seen the play already. They've already gone back and maybe reviewed it 2 times.
Yeah.
But we want to see it the first time, god damn it. Because Lumao comes in, obviously instantly goes into a stopwatch because he gets bursted down. But then the first ultimate comes through because of Yagao keeping him alive, and they're able to position on top of Ning. That was a great cast, too, to push JakeyLove all the way back.
Yeah.
And, of course, Imp, while everyone else is incredibly low, stood his ground and took down those 2 members.
Flash forward as well, just to secure everything off. So JDG playing to their strengths here, and through the solo lanes, and now through Imp, who's gone the AP build here in this game number 1, is almost unstoppable.
We're talking about MVPs for that team fight. I think Yagao, just because of that Kindred ultimate placement, really allowed them time to play with, to be able to get on top of the Kindred, to be able to blow back JakeyLove so he lost positioning to be in that fight. It's going to be a pain right now for Invictus Gaming to ever have a good fight. I don't know how they do it. If we're talking about straight 5v5, Yagao can buy them a lot of time. And then Kindred, I mean, the Gragas can make Ning's Kindred ultimate essentially pointless, mute.
Yep. And you're hoping just for the fact that JakeyLove can get enough time to free hit away with those 2 items. And that's nothing that, or rather, that's not something that JDG are willing to give at this point. That's a W. That is a W. Of course, AP, Kaiser, and Balan's at half.
A lot of people go into Rabadon's immediately after, too, after the Nashor's, too. So it's only going to get worse.
That's right. There's a needlessly large rod there, so get ready. JDG pushing as 4 here with Lumao sitting on the side and Forge really just getting hurt.
It's funny that we're looking towards JDG and say that they can segue to poke in their comp.
Yeah. There we go. And it's such a low cooldown as well.
It's very low, and then also Silas picking up a lot of AP, can steal the Lux ultimate, also be able to chunk down Invictus Gaming as well.
Yeah.
Technically, it's an AP Gragas, so his Q is going to do damage, but what's more important is the slow to set up the other possible poke.
So the hunt pop there by Yagao.
Yep. It's gonna be hard to deal with if you're Invictus Gaming. You can already see like Zoom is already beasting on Duke in this matchup, and now it's just getting worse with Baron buff on him.
That's a double turret take with 1 single push, 1 wave here against IG. 6K still holds strong here in the gold lead, and there's a mountain coming up, so a dragon that for JDG is a must take, an easy take at this point with their 2 items across the board, and still looking at that needlessly large rod on him, waiting for this next wave to crash in that next back.
I'll say one point of solace for Invictus Gaming is that, you know, Stopwatch has already been used by Lumao, and he's a long way off of possible Zonias. So if he joins a fight, he's going to die without his aftershock.
Yep.
So I want to be able to see how that ends up getting played out. I don't expect them to look for a dive on the mid lane inhibitor turret. But it all really comes down to how they end up playing these side lanes. Zoom's been consistent, wanting to take on Duke in these side lane matchups.
He's got his Black Cleaver now as well, so it's a 2-item Renekton going into Duke. And Duke with a fully stacked Seraph's Embrace, sits in the side lane, sits back. Baron buff, by the way, now gone from JDG, and we finally get to see that back from Imp. Finally get to see what JDG do now with that mountain coming.
And he's the one with the stopwatch too. So if we're talking about who's going to be getting into the thick of things, to take turret, aggro, and all that, I expect it to be the Renekton. So a lot at play here. And I think it really is just going to come down to how Invictus Gaming end up defending the onslaught of JDG.
In game 1 against JDG, we didn't see this out of the finals. What we saw was IG walking dominant, but it hasn't been the same season. It's been so back and forth.
And it's not the same team.
Yeah?
Like, Invictus Gaming's playstyle, who they are as a team, is that win lane, win game mentality. When they brought in Forge, it forced them to play a little smarter. Like, it forced them to realize that they're not going to have, like, the best players in the world in that role. But now having Duke and Forge, the reason why it's so different now is that you have to focus on the facilitators of, you know, Ning, Baolan, JakeyLove to be the people who not only have a strong laning phase, but also to be able to support Forge within the lane and come out with these, honestly, really creative compositions. So it's a completely different team. I don't expect to see this team going forward. I expect, you know, when Rookie comes back, he's going to be playing all of his games.
Of course.
And I also expect, like, TheShy to be playing their main top lane for as long as you can expect.
That's right. There's a reason, because in spring he's playing some of his best League of Legends. We expect that same performance coming into summer. And in this game, for someone like Duke, he has to make a statement himself. So fed, picked up some CS, now has almost 3 items. This is a Ryze that can do damage, but Duke is going to have to prove that in his next upcoming fight around the Baron, most likely, that the Ryze is going to be a facilitator for IG.
That's true. I love the fact that he's been able to buy himself some time. Ever since the early portion of the game when he got soloed out, we've been seeing him and Ning work really closely on side lane. So if he's not there, if Ning's not there, then he's able to pick up the wave near his tower. But when when Renekton is there, you know, Ning is always there to pressure him off.
As teleport to join the Baron fight as well. So keep in note that the level almost 16 Ryze can get in. Yagao sends out himself a big light wave.
These are great spell shields from JakeyLove. Not only did he negate the damage from the Lux ultimate, wow.
That happened. That's a killer instinct on the Balan, who almost gets destroyed with the Icathian rain from it. Now suddenly supported half health, and Baron's just sitting there while Duke gets popped too.
I'm surprised they don't just beeline it towards the Baron buff as it stands.
Yeah, picks up a Karma ult as well. On the hunt, just has to be popped and then gets slowed down. They come in with the ultimate of Fiddlesticks. They lock down one. It's Ning who lands for spikes, but that means Fiddle survives as well. The flash into the middle. Zoom just spins to win. Almost dies himself, but out of the backline for JDG. A scattered fight, but Imp is alive. Yagao's alive. He jumps with him. They steal a little realm warp to the side, and Duke can't hop in. They snipe the jungler, and with the Lambs respite themselves, it's all over Red Rover with a quadra kill going to Imp.
What a clean drive. Honestly. Just right from the beginning. Yagao stealing out that Karma shield, forcing on towards Ning, and Ning had to back away entirely, and they just run them right to the blue side jungle. I want to see that one more time. That was really difficult to see how Ning got caught out in that position.
I think you might get a chance, Raz, because death time is very low at this point. 29 minutes in, and it's just the inhibitor this time around, and IG will be able to hold on, but that Baron is most definitely JDG's.
That was a great timing on Fiddlesticks ultimately. I will say to begin with, like, being able to get right on top of Ning, and we made that mention, that Ning needed to be able to use his Kindred ultimate like early, just because of how long Fear can get being maxed out. He finally got that breath of fresh air. Of course, ultimate, but it's not on time. He ends up losing out. This was just a good positioning from JDG.
Clean from JDG. Something that we didn't see at the start of the split. It's been the development here that this game one has led me to believe. JDG looking some of their best.
Yeah, I think it comes down to vision control, especially to allow the Lu Mao, the Fiddlesticks, to be able to be on that lane. You already saw on the Raptor camp, Control Ward is just sitting there, recognized that he had that opening to be able to use his ultimate to get on top of Ning. So, good pick. We just need to see this consistently from the team, and take a look at it. He has Zhonya's now, so he can set up for it once again when it's off. It's already off cooldown, actually. Oh my god.
That's a triple Sonya's team, by the way.
Yep.
And a QSS on him. So there's a lot going on in the composition. There's a lot going on with JDG, and a 9-0-2 Kaiser on that note. Killer Instincts in. Imp almost takes the jungler out because he has a Rabadons now. Why not?
You can just see how... Alright, not going to happen. You can see how low he ends up getting Baolan. He's just testing, always stat checking to see if he can get that next auto in there to get the kill.
JDG not stopping here as well. Now Imp moving up with the rest of the team. Fiddlesticks waiting at the back. Lu Mao in a good position here if IG push forward, but they can't. They're stuck in their base with mid-wave crashing in and the Renekton in the bottom lane.
Yeah, this is the primary focus, this lane right now. It's going to be harder for Renekton to be able to touch this, but you can already see Flawless pushing in super minion waves through mid just to be able to collapse on top lane wave.
Looking at the vision control down as a flank here for IG, but 11k gold down. They need a miracle. They need the teleport of someone like Duke. But it's not the cannon. I'm living in the past here in this game because IG is stuck in their base and they're stuck facing a 0-1 start to this series.
I love that the Sivir ultimate gets used on them in the wave just to be able to threaten the IG off bottom lane turret.
Duke losing Banshee's Veil. He now doesn't have On the Hunt as a facilitator to get him out of there. Floors in a good position to just start this off, but Duke, Baolan will play it safe. They'll lose the bottom lane turret with the inhibitor too, and JDG moments away from putting a stake into IG and sending him packing.
What a strong start to the series too.
Yeah.
And this is the last series we've seen from both these teams before Rift Rivals. What a statement it will make for JDG to be going into that event with a 3-series win streak.
It'll be the start of good things to come for JDG. The start of getting ahead of myself, but a miracle run once again as they've lost themselves everything in this base. Baolan keeps taking W after W. Zoom now ult, looking for the engage. IG again, moments away. This is the third inhibitor.
And the mid lane wave is coming in pretty early too, so this is the one we're expecting them to commit to.
Get ready for Zoom, slice and dice. Dominus now going to expire, but full rage bar available as he dodges away from the light binding once again. Explosive cast separates everyone, but they're still going to survive. JDG waiting for that wave, and the bottom wave they need to clear out now, but top with the Baron buff is here.
I think they could have hold on it because mid lane wave was coming in at the same time. You want to overwhelm them.
Teleport going to come through now here as well. Bottom and mid going to queue up, but top is far away. The Lamb's Respite goes down once again as IG have found themselves defensive maneuvers, but that did 0 damage from the Lux. And with a minion wave here with 2 Baron buffs, Zoom slices and dices again, and IG still managed to hold on.
That was a pretty smart Kindred ultimate just to keep the super minion wave alive. But yeah, you can already see how hard it is to push into this team. It's a lot just to be able to go through from the Sivers. So good defense from Invictus Gaming. I think JDG's realizing they need a full dive commitment.
They do. All they need him to find the ultimate. Lamb's Respite comes out from Ning, saves the life of Duke, who tries to pummel right back.
Wait a
Lamb's
minute.
Respite also keeps Lamb's Respite alive. It's Lu Mao on the backside while Jim jumps into the front. JDG again, the flash, body slam, the cast separates them, but IG is still alive. 5 versus 4. JDG are low, and IG live on.
What a huge shield on Kindred. They thought they had that fight. They had 1 kill. It should have been more, but the super minion waves keep rolling through.
Means Imp doesn't have an ult, means that JDG is struggling even harder to get into this base. On the hunt, stolen and used. Double light binding, double ultimate. Zoom still low himself. JakeyLove is the wave clear alongside Duke when he respawns, but being that man advantage down means Yagao can jump in, look to end the game. Zoom's there as well, finally. JDG get the pick they were looking for to end this game number 1. It took a while, but 35 minutes in, JDG up in the match of the week.
Myself, my colleagues, everybody